Rejection is God's protection. I wish that I had known that saying when I was like 5. Because looking back on it now, it is absolutely true. Absolutely true. In the average person's life, like I could have saved myself years of torture and torment if I had known that saying. I could have saved myself a lot of damage to my self-esteem, my self-confidence, uh, my just my overall feeling about myself. I had such a hard time with rejection, and I think most people do. I really do. Rejection is painful, painful, especially to young people. Especially to young people. When we get a little bit older, we're not quite so sensitive, maybe. We've taken the rejection a few times. All young people need to know the saying, rejection is God's protection. Because it helps you, or it helps us as humans deal with rejection. It doesn't matter if somebody thinks it's true or if they think it's overused, or it doesn't matter. Once you know the phrase, rejection is God's protection, you will be able to deal with rejection in a completely different way. And that is the point of the saying. There's people who want to discuss it and they're just like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is rejection hurts. It is damaging to our confidence. It is damaging to our sense of self. And once you know the phrase, rejection is God's protection, you can let go of the wound that is being created in you from being rejected, and realize that the reason that you're being rejected is probably because this situation was bad for you. It would have turned out bad. And if you go back and you look at all of the times that you've been rejected with the knowledge that you have today, and you really honestly look at those situations, you can honestly say, or I can honestly say that I would have known at that time this was not the path for me. I didn't hear this phrase until fairly recently. I had never heard it before in my life. And knowing that phrase at a very young age would have made my life so much simpler, and it would have saved my confidence and my sense of self a whole lot of damage. So, I don't know about young people, like really young people, but I would say teenagers need to know this phrase, and they need to know it intimately. They need to know it so that they can get through their rejection situations, because we all have them. I don't care if you're a male or a female or old, young, we all have rejection. And if you know that rejection is a sign from God, a sign from the divine that this is not the path for you. You may not be aware of that. You have a limited perspective of the world and time. But your angelic team has an expanded view. They know. So when you're getting rejected, it is most likely your team saying, no, 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 you don't want to go down this path. You don't want to do this. There is a much easier, better, and happier way over here. And we're creating this rejection so that you are redirected to this better path. And that, knowing that at any stage of your life is like a warm hug for your heart. You can let go of feeling like you don't count. You can let go of feeling like you don't matter. You can let go of rejection pain. You don't have to feel that because you know that the reason you're being rejected is because that wasn't the path for you. And you don't have to know why that isn't the path for you. All you have to do is know that you are going to be led down another path that is going to be right for you. And it is going to be happy and it is going to be healthy. You may have just dodged a really big bullet if you can listen. But if you don't know that rejection is God's protection, you're going to constantly keep trying to go down the wrong path. You're going to constantly keep fighting against God, against the divine. And you're going to continue to hurt yourself over and over and over again until you figure out that the reason you're being rejected is because, not because you're not worthy, not because you're less than, but because it's the wrong direction for you. And that is worth so much in this day and age, especially for young people. Teenagers, 20-somethings, by the time you get into, but you know what? Even in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, rejection is still really difficult. It's really hard to be rejected. And I'll tell you, it's a lot of I just did a video the other day where they came out and they said that 63% of men have just given up on dating. They've washed their hands of it. There's a lot of reasons for that, but constant rejection is one of those reasons. They're sick and tired of being rejected, or they're sick and tired of other things that happen in these situations. But rejection was high on the list. So there's a lot of people out there who need to know that rejection is God's protection. There's a lot of people out there who are being damaged, feeling less than, because they've never heard the phrase, rejection is God's protection. So spread it far and wide. Overuse it. Who are you hurting by overusing that phrase? Nobody. You're helping a whole lot of people. And I hope that you do it. I would like to have it signed on my back. Rejection is God's protection. And walk around everywhere with it, because it is a blessing to think in that manner. And it will free you from any pain that you might have experienced, and pain that you might have carried around for years. If you know that saying, life is good. Blessings.